So, hi everybody, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Kate. Thanks Annette for the intro. And today I will be talking about what is spookier than being stuck on the side of the road. And so just really quick, I wanted to note that today I will not be talking about electric motors, but I will be talking about gas engines. Sorry, Nicola, he's here in spirit. I don't have any expertise on, I took a hybrid class, but I don't really know much about electric motors, and some of these things you can apply to any car, like tires, for example. And another disclaimer, so there's all different kinds of varying, differences among cars, make, model, and year, and sometimes even year to year on the same make and model car, you'll have differences. So I encourage you to do your research before you get upset for being overcharged at America's Tire. So what is being worse than being stuck on the side of the road is being stuck on the side of the road with a flat tire. So what do? Obviously, y'all know this. Y'all probably been there, pull over, get safe. I actually just got a tip from Dan that it's good to have, what do you call it? Not firecrackers, but road flares in your trunk if, you get stuck and you want to be safe. So you just put those out, especially at nighttime, and, other people will see you on the road. So how does a 3-inch nail get stuck in your wheel? I have no idea. It probably physics, but don't take it out. Whatever you do, don't take it out, because at least if your tire's not fully flat, you'll at least have a chance to drive to the gas station, to fill up, to drive to the shop, or to get your car to the shop that you actually want to take it to. I took my car to America's Tire like 2 months ago, and they took out the goddamn nail. And I was like, that's such a rookie mistake. I didn't want to get my tire replaced at the shop. So that was upsetting. Anyway, who knows what's this? Woo! Yeah, so what does that actually mean? So it's a sign for you as a driver, the car signaling that something is wrong with your car, right? So you have a whole communication system amongst the different electrical parts of your car that speak with the ECU, also known as the electric computer, that then signals the check engine light if something is wrong with your car. And so what could be wrong with your car? So maybe you need to top off your oil, or maybe you need an oil change. Actually, one thing that you could do, you could learn, to change your own oil, or you could take it to a one-stop shop oil change place, which I actually don't recommend, because a lot of the times they actually aren't ASC certified, and so you're not guaranteed you're getting the best service possible. And changing your own oil is easy. All you gotta do is get your wrench, get your filter, get your oil, your funnel, and then just go on YouTube and type in your car and how do you change your oil. Another thing that could be wrong is obviously overheating. Hopefully your check engine light came on before the overheating had any effect on your engine, because then that could be very costly. You could end up having internal issues, and that's definitely money in your pocket. Y'all know this, don't open the radiator cap. The one thing that you can do if you do have coolant in your car is if you find the radiator hose, you can see if the pressure has subsided, and then if you can squeeze the hose all the way through, then you'll be able to open the radiator cap and top it off. Another thing that will set off your check engine light are emission issues. Here in California, we're lucky, we have stricter emission laws, but also what that means is something as simple as a not tight fuel gas cap will actually make your check engine light go off. So sometimes people, find themselves freaking out because their check engine light went off, but actually they just didn't tighten the gas cap. So what can you do to save some money? So you can actually get yourself a $30 scan tool at the store that will actually, if you plug it into the OBD2 connector that you could also find if you look at your car up on the internet, and pull the code. A P code is what they're called. That's the industry standard, the diagnostic P code. And then at least you'll be able to find out what kind of code is it. Is it a P0300, which is a random misfire, or a P0442, which I got with my fuel gas cap. The other thing that you could do is take it to the shop. Obviously, some shops aren't always the most honest. And so one of the things that's super important is, being educated, knowing exactly what you're signing. And the one fun fact that I like sharing with people is if you do not sign a work order before your service gets completed, you're actually not legally liable to pay for the service. Unless, then it's like over the phone sometimes. If you approve, then they'll take that as like a verbal approval. One fun fact, if your car gets scratched, then you can actually use nail polish to like touch up different scratches. This is just a fun, trick that some people aren't aware of. And another thing, y'all ever wonder what you can do to brighten your headlights? You use blink of fluid, obviously. No, it's just a joke. That's somebody pulling your leg, really. The other one is muffler bearings. There's no such thing as muffler bearings. So, anyway, that's it.
Being stuck inside the road.
It's being stuck on the side. Wait, what's that? Yes. Questions?
Muffler bearings are awesome. I haven't heard that one.
Yes.
100,000 blinks isn't going to get you very far if you use your blinker regularly.
Nice.
It says it's good for 100,000 blinks.
Oh.
Did you,
It's BMW.
Is it from the same section as the diesel spark plugs?
What's up?
Did you listen to Car Talk as a kid?
No,
Okay.
So I had absolutely zero background in cars. Nobody in my family was into cars, nothing, until I just started hanging out with a bunch of car people, and I always loved driving, but it wasn't until then that I really started getting into cars. Yeah.
Patrick has a question.
What's up?
ODB2 code readers seem awesome.
OBD,
But when you
OBD2.
Google it, you get all sorts of random crap. What do you actually recommend?
But can you clarify your question?
To like buy one and use one and have one to play with and do all sorts of things.
So I think it depends on how much money you're trying to spend, because there's manufacturer specific scan tools that will always be able to give you more information than just a $50 Bosch scan tool. So that's why, I usually tell people, get yourself a cheap one, and then you can go on the internet and you can look up like pattern failures specifically for your car. You type in the code and, then you're able to find a lot more information. But usually like shops, for example, even if you come to them and you tell them like, hey, I have a P0, etc., I know exactly what it is. Sometimes what they try to do is just like, okay, well, but you didn't use a manufacturer specific scan tool, and so therefore you don't have all the information. And so they will go out of their way to then charge you again that extra hour of diagnostic, and so you're already, $150 into whatever is wrong with your car. Like with my gas cap, I'm lucky because I can like figure shit out on my own. Like, oh, I just need to order a gas cap, and I order a gas cap instead of being, freaking out and being like, oh, my check engine light's on. What could be wrong with my car, and going in to spend that extra money. Yeah, I also worked at 2 performance shops for 2 years.
Do you have a model of OBD2 to recommend?
I just have the Bosch $50 scanner. Yeah, just super basic. Because some of the like Porsche scan tools are like $10,000. Like BMW is like 5 to 7.
And the first time you don't have to pay $100 to get the code cleared after you didn't put the gas cap on right is like pays for itself.
How long has that standard been around? So how old a car is that compatible with usually?
OBD2?
Yeah.
90, I think it started coming around in 93, 94.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think actually it was required after 96. Yeah, so legally required. After 96, yeah.
And current cars don't have a newer standard?
I don't believe so. Not that I know of. Because at the auto tech program we didn't have newer cars, so we learned on cars that were like, late 80s to like, I don't know, 2005, right? And so like that's always kind of trouble too for when people actually go and, work at dealers. Now they have to actually still continue learning, because now they have to learn about the new cars with the more sophisticated communication, electrical diagnostic system.
So how do you bridge the gap between a car lover and a tree hugger?
I don't know. I'm just me. I like to drive. Obviously there's so much you can do, like the things that we choose in our life. Right? Like I'm vegetarian, for example, right? So that's like one thing that I do well for the environment. Whereas like, then I like to go drive, so I'm conscious of the fact that it's like, okay, it's give and take.
How much did you know before starting this program about cars? I can imagine that being a very intimidating room if you didn't already feel a little confident.
Yeah, it was nerve-wracking. So that takes me back to my very first day that I walked into a classroom at Dianza. I was so nervous because it's not like I went with anybody. I just decided to sign up and just went by myself. it was nerve-wracking, and it definitely taught me a lot. I had people take wrenches out of my hand. I had dudes, and it was, my apologies for generalizing, but it was literally 99% guys at the auto tech program. So you learn to like hold your own and stand your ground.
Sort of baseline understanding, or let them coming in? With zero
No, yeah, I didn't. Not really. I mean, like I've done my own,
But the others.
research. The other people did. Yeah.
Most of them.
Yeah. I mean, most people that get into auto mechanics usually have a background in cars. Yeah.
Okay, I think we got 2 more questions over here. Alina, go ahead.
I was wondering, so if you can just plug something in and it'll tell you what exactly is the issue, then why do cars not give you more information about what the problem is?
That's a great question, and it's, probably, it's the system. The BMW wants you to come back. They want to fix your car. They want to make money off of having to fix your car. Whereas like if everybody knew, or if you knew what the issue is, then they wouldn't have that chance to make that extra buck. But I don't know if that's the reason. Yeah.
Last question.
So on the subject of the flat tire,
Yeah.
what's your opinion on like the fix a flat cam? Is it good enough to drive on the freeway? Is it a good idea at all?
I've never actually done it. I personally wouldn't. I've never. I've never heard anybody of like any of my car friends that would have ever used a fix a flat. Yeah.
My last car and my current car both didn't come with a spare, but
Uh-huh.
fix a flat and a small pump. And they're saying
Okay.
it's as good as a spare, like it's as good as a low-speed spare. I don't know if I should believe that.
I've never tried it. I've never done it. So yeah, I have no idea.
If you survive, let her know.
Yeah.
And the other thing, if we're all part of the same community, so if anybody has ever any issues, you can call me, you can email me, you can let me know.
You.
I'll be-